All right. Thank you, Cam. So, we made a decision to be in business. So think about that. You made the decision to take your life to another level. Why? Why did you get in business? When we go through challenges, we got to always remember why we made that decision. Okay. And so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about consciously shifting your life, changing your life right now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, but right now. Because you can change your life right now, right? It starts immediately when you make decisions. So a lot of us, because of the way we've been taught and the way we think, we fear having to put in work. Or some of us don't invest because we want immediate gratification. So, in some of these classes we went through, we studied, the power of delayed gratification. But it's really not delayed once you make the decision. So we're going to talk about now, this concept of now, time in general. And as you know, we get into science. Why do we get into science? Because science is life. Science is life. Science is the water you drinking and the food you eating. Okay. So we got to live. We want to make money and we want to live in nice things, but we got to take care of this temple first. So everything is science. When you're building yourself as an entrepreneur, it starts in here in the mind, and that's science. It's also spirituality. Okay. There's mental, there's spiritual. Those are the higher levels of consciousness. Okay. So we're talking about consciousness and you being consciously aware of things. Let me share my screen. If it's going that right. Laptop is. So what you see right here, the money motion circle, right? You see levels of consciousness. It's not just levels of money. You see employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. Okay. Those are different ways to make money. We know what's the worst way to make money? Trading your time for money. That's the employee. And so you going around this circle. There's really no difference between a circle and a square. So you're going around this circle, right, to develop yourself and to raise yourself financially. So these are levels of consciousness. You can be an employee, work for somebody. Everybody's done that. You can be self-employed. You can start your own business. Okay. A lot of us are self-employed. And you can become a business owner. That is, you run and operate the business, but the business can work and make money without you. So you're shifting and getting to a higher level of creating money. And then the last level is investor, when you invest in things. Okay, the first investment is what you're making right now. And that's you investing your time into something that's going to get you a good ROI, a return on your investment. So how do we create our reality right now? How do we make the future happen right now? It's with consciousness. What's conscious? Conscious is to be aware of, responding to one's surroundings, awake. You ever had a tooth pulled and they put you to sleep? You didn't feel the pain. And then when you woke up, you was all right. Then about an hour later, you're like, ooh, you started to feel it. You became aware of it. So you felt pain. So you became conscious. Consciousness just means to be aware. Biblically, they say, well, you perish for a lack of knowledge. So what you don't know can hurt you. So if you're asleep and you're not conscious, you're missing out on something. And people are missing out on things and they don't even know because they're asleep. They're unconscious. Having knowledge of something, being aware, is just consciousness. So get that in your head. Whatever you're making, whatever money you make, if it's 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, is that what you make on an annual basis? That is your financial consciousness. You're aware of that. And that's how you've been operating your life. But today we're going to talk about shifting your life and creating your reality, which is your future. If you're in business, you should be shifting and creating a new reality. Think about what's happening in the world today. World situations, you can look at on the TV, you can look at social media, you can see everything happening outside of you. You hear what people saying, the president election, this, that, all of these things are outside of you. Okay? Now, in order to create your reality, you got to push that to the side, because the reality is you can't control that. You cannot control things outside of you. So the first level and the first understanding in order to create your reality is to control what you can control. Control what you can control. You can't control what nobody else is going to do. You can't control the people outside of you. You can't control what your husband, your wife, sister, brother, all these people in your life. You cannot control what they're going to do. And that's what stops us from creating our reality. What stops us from creating our reality is we are focused on things that we can't control. We're worried about other people instead of being worried about ourselves. So they have people worried about the economy, and then people start living in a fear-based mindset. Well, I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm scared to invest this, or I'm scared to do that. I'm scared to start that business. They say the economy won't do this. So you start listening to all that outside noise. What it does, it stifles you. It stops you from making a move for yourself. It stops you from taking your family to the next level. 100 years ago, there was wars. 100 years before that, there was wars. 100 years before that, there was plagues on the planet. There was diseases and plagues, and people, oh, this is going to be the worst, this or that. The people that listened to the outside noise and just stopped and lived in fear, let someone else create their reality. The people that looked at the situation and said, okay, this is happening, how do I respond to it? They tapped into something inside of themselves which they can control. They were conscious, and thus they shifted society. So that's what we're talking about. You have to be able to shift and create your own reality.
Not to call him, man. Trying to give him a chance to get here.
Hit mute the ref.
My bad, man.
Oh, you good? No problem. So using our 6 higher mental faculties is how we shift and create our reality. This is what you can control. You can't control the presidential election. You can't control the Democrats, the Republicans. You can't control if they're going to vote for this or that. What can you control? These, your imagination, your will, intuition, memory, reasoning, perception. These are inside of you. And these are the things that determine what's outside of you. You don't believe me? Think about that word will. Look at will for a second. Right? Will I do it or will I not do it? Will got more than one meaning. Will, the ability that, in football, they say that dog, he got that dog in him. The other dude is bigger than him, but this guy got it. It's like Mike Tyson. He barely 6 feet and he knocking out people 6'5", right? It's like the David and Goliath story. The will is what people can't measure. That's something inside of you. That's what you got to have inside you right now as you're hitting these financial challenges and these challenges with your employees and the people that's working with you and these partnerships. If you're going to partner with people, if we're going to do that, your will has to push. You got to be committed to it. It's something inside of you. It's a higher faculty that you have to tap into. We're going to focus on memory today because we're talking about creating the future, which is now. Creating the future, which is right now. There's no past, and there's no future. There's only the present right now. So we're going to focus on that memory. And by the time we get through it, things are going to be clearer of the power that we have to create now, right now. The future is now. This is the reality. Time, as you know, it really is an illusion. The only reality is right now. The present, that screen is going. The present is made of the past and is creating the future. The present is made of the past and is creating the future. Think of your life. You presently where you are right now. I don't care if we're personal or financially. Let's stay with financial because it's numbers and it's easier to understand, right? It's easier to get the point across. Where you're at financially right now is the present. Whatever's in your bank account is in your bank account. Whatever your business is making, that's the present. How did that happen? The stuff you did in the past. The mistakes you made, right? How do I change the future? I have to create a vision. I have to see the future. When is all of this taking place? Right now, when you sat there and you reflected, whatever you got in your bank account, you know what's in there. You got it in there when? Was it yesterday? Is it future? It's in there right now. But it got whatever's in there. If it's $1,000, that $1,000 was accumulated by what you did yesterday. Okay? If you want 10,000, what is you having that 10,000 based off of? You doing something right now. So the only reality is right now. Okay? You have the ability to go to the past and go back in time. You just did it when you thought about how did I get this $1,000? Okay, I worked, I did whatever service you do. You thought about it, but you thought about it right now. So you went back in time. But you have to learn how to do that same trick and create the future. But the beautiful thing about the future, you create it right now when you decide what you want. The moment you make the decision, it happens immediately. That's called attraction. Once you decide what you want, you are creating the future right now. Because if I say, well, tomorrow I'm going to be in New York. When did the thought happen? It happened right now. And I immediately see a picture of New York. Well, if I'm going to start the business, I decide right now. So everything is right now. Everything, you live in a time of now. It's a conscious state, understanding that everything is now. And the more you grasp that reality, the more you're going to get done in your life and in your business. But if you think that past, present, and future are separate, what you do is you'll make an excuse. And what they have done is they tricked us into thinking we have time. How many of us put off the business that you're in now? You might have thought about it 2-3 years ago. I'm going to do it then. I'll do it. Somebody tricks you into thinking you have time. Who on here now knows when they're going to die? Don't nobody know that. So why are we allowing people to trick us into thinking we have time? If we say life is a blessing, we should be moving and acting like it. We should be doing things consciously. If you realize that you consciously control your life and your life is based off of your decisions, you'll stop collaborating, wasting time with people that are not in alignment with you. This is what's called conscious living, conscious awareness. The average life expectancy in the United States is 77 years old. That's the average life expectancy in the United States. 4,004 weeks in a lifetime. That's what that is. If you live to be 77, you got 4,004 weeks to be here. 4,004 weeks now, right? Now, you start to look at stuff different when you break it down. Why weeks? Why did I want to go weeks? Most people get paid by the week, right? Now, this math you're doing, now you're doing it for yourself, but guess what? This came from the Census Bureau information. Why do they do that? They're calculating their money. They calculate how many humans they got. He gonna live up to this, and we're gonna tax him, and then so we can loan out money for the next 50 years. Other people outside of you is calculating your life. How many of us do this? This is conscious living. This is conscious decision making. So the average life expectancy is 77 years. So that's 4,004 weeks. How much money you gonna make? Where your life gonna be? We know some people don't live that long. We know some people live a lot longer. But this is the average life expectancy. When you start looking at, now when you look at it, you look at life a little different. That's why they say, man, you hit 40 and you still out here playing games. I mean, look, you got, according to life expectancy, you got less than half the time left. See, people don't think about these things. Why? Because we're living unconsciously. Somebody tricked you into thinking you got time. The brain. What is the brain really? We're talking about consciousness. We're talking about creating reality, the brain. You see that brain on a computer on that laptop? Scientifically, what the brain is a holographic computer. That's what the brain is. Holographic computer. Why? The brain operates with pictures. Pictures is what moves people. Right? So now you see what the term said, what? Seeing is believing. Why? Because that's how the brain operates. We can see something that becomes realer to us. A picture is worth 1,000 words. These ain't just stuff people made up. This is what scientists, after studying humans, right? What moves us is pictures. Some scientists say that you can't fall in love over the phone. Somebody can talk so sweet to you and sound so good, this and that. After a while, I need to see how she looked. I need to see how he looked. You're a physical being. Your brain takes pictures. You need to see an image. Once you see an image and then you attach it with the consciousness that you have, it becomes a stone rock inside of you. That's how people programmed us, right? Even spiritually, when we was given certain religions, it gave you stories first, so you had something to hang on to. But then when I gave you a picture, I said, okay, wow, that picture right there. Okay, that picture stamped in your head. That's how God looks. That's how this looks. Pictures. Your brain is a holographic computer. Every time you see something, you don't forget. When you see, your brain took a picture of it. Scientifically, they now know how to hook your head up and they can go back and they can see the images in your head. Right? Why? Because when you see in pictures. You see images. That's what moves us. We're moved by sight. Right? So now think about why our vision board is so important. Because it's stronger, it stamps in the mind. It's a vivid picture. When you see a human being, you see an image of them. I could tell you about how somebody looked, but when you see it, wow, it transforms you. So that's what the brain is. Your brain is a computer. It records, and it records in pictures. It records with memory. Memory is what we're focusing on. Why? Because all the information, what you're conscious of now is whatever somebody gave you. So even if you're hearing something new right now, what's happening is it's attaching to what you already knew. And if it's something that you never heard or something that scares you, what happens is you get uncomfortable. It's a natural reaction. It's a discomfort because it's something new. So the brain is rattling, trying to compare it to something. All right. So what we have to do to create our reality is what? We got to get uncomfortable. You want to make more money, you want to do something, you got to be around different people. And when you're around them, it's going to feel uncomfortable at first. Because they might be other races, they might speak different languages, they might be in a different financial status. They're talking something different you never heard. So your brain is going to be unstable because it's trying to connect it to what, well, but my mama said this. See, it's only connecting to what you're conscious aware of. If you're only consciously aware of what the pastor, your mother, your teacher, whoever, your friends, right? Whoever has been giving you information, when you hear something new, you got to shift. So now to create a new reality, you got to do something different, right? So that's why you're in business. Why? You want a new reality. If you want more money, that's a new reality. So we got to see a picture of it, though. I got to see a picture of how I'm going to look with this money that I want. And then once I hold on to that picture, it happens right now. My life starts to move right now. Visualization. Visualization works from a human perspective because we respond to and process visual data better than any other type of data. From a human perspective, we respond to visual and we process visual data better than any other type of data, right? So you respond to something visual more than anything. More than reading a book, you respond to the movie. Why do you think movies are called movies? They move you. What are they moving? They're moving your energy. They're shifting you. Why? Because you're getting all of the above. You're getting sound, you're getting visual, right? You're getting all of it put together and it's moving you. So we respond to sight, right? More than any other data, visual data affects you. Visual. And your brain really focuses on pictures. More, even when you're reading something, your brain focuses on pictures and memory. Pictures and memory. So think about the life that you're going through. When people are in a depressed state, what memories are they focusing on? What do you think? They're focusing on the past and the bad times. And so if you focus on something over and over again, what's going to happen? You're going to get more of the same, right? So for most people, us, we focus on past experiences. So think about it. When you hit a financial challenge, what do most people do? They'll keep playing in their head over and over again what they don't have. I don't have the money for the bill. I don't have the money for the bill. Why you say that? Because I don't have it. I don't have. So you're focusing on what? Lack. That lack, the conscious creates a physical image. The image is your image because you're talking about you not having. So you think about how you was looking when they cut the lights off or they didn't have a car or you got repo. You focus on it so much, you go back and all you see is you replay that same image. We replay the same images in our life and we create a future that gets the same poor results. Right? So that's insanity. But that's what we're visualizing. Most people are visualizing being broke, being sad, being unhappy in marriage. You can talk to some people and some people say, "Are you about to get married?" The guy that only focuses on depression and the bad side of marriage would be like, "Man, you sure you want to do that?" His only visualization is a bad image. We letting people outside of us create our reality for us. And most of the people that are creating the reality have never even done it. Most people that's complaining about marriage never got married. Why? Because they were too scared to commit to anything. Okay? Fear dominates them. So if we see things visual, what should we see? We got to see ourselves being whatever it is that we want. If we want the business to be successful, you got to see yourself being successful. How does being successful look? How do you look making triple what you make right now? How do you look? Man, I don't know. I can't see it. You got to see it here first. This is the first sight. How does it look? How do you dress? Would you dress the same? No, I would dress different. What would you buy? Now we're getting an image. Once you get an image and you create an image, it starts attraction. What goes into manifestation? Visualization, the image, concentration, meditation, and then it manifests. You got to see it first. That's the visualize. You got to see it first, right? The eyes and the brain. How do we see? Most of us say we see with our eyes, right? That's common sense. That's what they taught us, right? The eyes and the brain, right? They take before and after shots. This is your eyes. Your eyes take before and after shots of every focused image and compare them in order to confirm stability. What's that really mean? So your eyes, when you see something, it looks at the image and it compares it to what it has already seen. Okay, your eyes take a before and after shots of every focused image and compare them in order to confirm stability. You can replace stability with comfort. So when you see something, your eyes see it and then it's a before and an after. So if you create an image of what you want to be and how you want to look and how you want to dress, your eyes have the image of you right now, so to speak, and they have the image of you, how you want to look. That's what your eyes do. Now, before your eyes actually sense an object, your brain takes its own picture of that object for comparison purposes. That's what people can't understand. Think of how deep this is. Before your eyes actually sense an object, your brain takes its own picture of that object for comparison purposes. So how do you really see? You really see with your brain or your mind. So visualization starts here first. And so that's why when you got ready to start the business, you woke up out of a dream state or whatever happened to you, and you said, I need to do it. What was that? That was a vision. I see myself doing this. Who saw you doing that? You saw yourself doing that. It's called a vision, right? Who is the vision for? You. Who saw the vision? You. Did you see it with these two eyes? No, you didn't see it with those two eyes. You saw it with another eye, a deeper eye that's in your mind. Okay? You saw it with another eye. That's that spiritual part of you. This matters because in order for you to create, you started off, you created the business off of your vision. You saw yourself where you're at right now, right? So, and if you did that, you got to keep creating, you got to keep recreating yourself. Okay, you seen artists, from rap artists, there was a #1 rap selling artist. Now they recreate themselves. Now they're now they're a producer. Now they're into this form. These people recreate themselves. Why? Through visualization. Because we see with the mind first, and then we see with those two sets of eyes. Before your brain actually senses an object, your brain takes its own picture of that object for comparison purposes. So everything you looking at, your brain already looked at it and it's comparing it to what is already seen before. Right? So that's why you should be careful and conscious of what you put in your brain. Be careful of the stuff you look at. You see what I'm saying? The brain, it knows where your eyes are going to move next. It forms an image of the object that precedes our conscious visual perception. So your brain already creates images even before the eyesight. If I was to say on here right now, how does God look in your head? Everybody has a different image, right? If you close your eyes and I say a picture of your mother, you see it even though your eyes are closed and your mom's not sitting in front of you, right? It's in here. Your brain already took the picture. You see what I'm saying? If I say, well, your husband or your wife in a beautiful white suit or dress, They might have never worn a white suit or dress, but what does your brain do? It has a picture of them already, right? And so now you see them in a white suit or dress, it's comparing it with the knowledge that it already has. And so a new image takes you to another level of thinking. So you got to create a new image of you with these eyes. Right? You got to get out of sorrow, out of depression. You got to quit giving other people your power. Oh, he did this to me. She did that to me. My boss did this. They supposed to be doing that. They ain't gonna let us do nothing. Nobody don't let you do anything, right? You have the power to do what you want to do. There's a saying, men do what they want and boys do what they can. Your life is about you. If you have free will, you get to do what you want to do. That's just the reality. And it starts with your brain and your visualization. Your brain computes visual images 60 times faster than it produces text. Right? Visual images impact your brain immediately 60 times faster, 60,000 times faster, 60,000 times faster than text. That's a visual image is that much more powerful than reading, writing or text. A visual image. It impacts you way more. If I was to text you right now and say, I'm upset, your mind would say, man, I wonder how mad is he though? How upset is he, right? But if I call you right now, man, I'm upset with you. That picture of you gonna be like, dang, man, I ain't never seen Chris like that before. The visual is gonna impact you way more, right? Visual impressions hit your mind 3 times faster than you blink. You know how fast you blink? So do you realize how fast a picture stimulates you? Wow. That's powerful. Picture is worth more than 1,000 words. So you got to create images of yourself, right? Think about if we got better images of ourselves, we start giving our kids better images. We start giving our employees better images. We start giving our business partners better images. We give them images that are going to impact them way more than what I'm talking. You see, right? It's just like you raising a child, a male child. He needs to see a man. He got to see an image. That's far more than what you could tell him. This is just reality. This is how the brain and the mind work. This right here is this is I think my next slide. Nah, it's coming though. All right, so images. Images are also better than text because reading is rather inefficient for us. Our brain sees words as individual images that we must first recognize. Thus, the appearance and order of the letters is important to a certain extent. This is because our brain is quite good at reading even jumbled words. The first and last letters are most important. The order of the letters in between is secondary. What's that saying? You can read something, but sometimes you think you're reading, it's memory, you're remembering. You're remembering how a word looks, right? And so that's why I think about when they taught you how to read and write. It was memory. A, B, C. It kept programming. You see the image, that's an A, that's an M. In the picture. So you were programmed by the picture, right? I want to read this again because we're about to do this is a test and it's going to show this. Images are also better than text because reading is rather inefficient for us. Our brain sees words as individual images that we must first recognize. Thus, the appearance and order of the letters is important to a certain extent. This is because our brain is quite good at reading even jumbled words. The first and last letters are most important. The order of the letters in between is secondary. Okay. Our brain is quite good at reading even jumbled letters. I think so. Who wants to volunteer to read? Ain't nobody like you, not me.
I volunteer.
Okay. All right. So I want you to
A picture.
read that for me.
All right. According to a researcher at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what order the letter in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be at the right place. The reset can be a toaster message, and you can still read it without problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole.
Now, how did you read that? Because that ain't what it says.
It ain't what it said, but that's what it looked like.
But that's what it looks like, right? So you see how our brain, your brain, you was able to read, you was able to get that message because of memory, right? And if everybody else probably was reading along too. So do you see that your brain is really more concerned with images than it is text? And what your brain does, if it's concerned with an image, it attaches what to images? Feelings. Feelings attached to images. Now, if you everybody on here went to school, what was the first form of writing that they told you about? The first form of writing. Studied ancient societies. What's that called? What type of writing? Hieroglyphics. You heard of hieroglyphics before? You know, it's like the picture writing. Ancient Egyptians, and they have like an eye, and they have, you never seen hieroglyphics? I should have got a picture of hieroglyphics then. So Google hieroglyphics. They're pictures, okay? So when we originally set up civilization, we communicated with pictures. The pictures made you feel a certain type of way, and we had an understanding when you saw a picture, all right? So it was the images that controlled us. So think about it. Whatever image you see, you start to feel a certain way about it. If I was to put a picture of a Klansman, a man with a white hood right now, I mean, who would really feel good about that? Right? Only somebody who identifies with it. A lot of us, we would feel uncomfortable, or we have bad thoughts, right? So the pictures affect us more than the words in the writing. Why? Because your brain is a hologramic computer, right? It takes pictures. So in order for you to create your reality, what do you got to do? You got to create some images and pictures in your mind, right? The thing is, we do it, but then we stop. What stops us is us, because we focus on things of the past so much. Instead of focusing on creating our future with the same mechanism that we focusing on these bad issues, we got to create good images, right? So we have to have visual images of who we want to be. Forget other people. How do you want to look? When somebody says, well, I want to grow my business, I want to take my business, how does that look to you? How do you look to you? Well, what exactly mean? I just want money. That's not, no. You want more money, what are you going to do with the money? I'm going to buy this, I'm going to do that. How does it look? Well, I see myself doing that. Now, how do you feel? Oh man, I'm going to feel good, right? So now we got an image, and then after we have the image, we feel about it. man or woman, you know what? I'm tired of playing the field. I want to be married. How does that look to you, man? I would do like this. I would be such and such, and I would have the right man or woman. Do you just see an image of a woman? No, you got to see an image of you acting a certain way. Once you start to become it, you just attract it. You don't have to go hunting. It's gonna come to you. It's a vibrational alignment. These are the things that will help us shift our reality and get the amount of money we want, get the life we want. And you realize how powerful your mind and memory is because you just read something that I don't even know what it is. But all of us, are able to do this because of memory. That's how powerful your mind is. Now, our eyes receive light energy and transduces it into neural messages that our brain processes into what we consciously see. Let's take away the big words. So your eyes takes in light. How do you see? You see only when the lights are on, so to speak, right? If you're in the room right now, you cut off all the lights, you can't see who's in front of you. Am I correct? Yeah, so it takes light in order to see. The person is there, you're just not aware of it because you're only focused on using those two eyes. But if the person is there, though, you just can't see them because you are only looking at things. In order for you to see, light has to come in, whether it's a light that man made, a light switch, or the sun. Do you get that? That's sight. So it says our eyes receive light energy and they convert it into messages that our brain processes in what we consciously see. So what is the message? That's only how you take it. So that's why I said, if I showed you a picture of a man with a hood on his head, right, and all white, you're gonna say that's a Klansman because you can see it. And what it sends a message to your brain. And how does your brain process it? It could be fear. Wow, that's a Klansman. He want to lynch me. Or hate. I'm ready to kill him. Right? You process based off of your awareness and how you relate with that image. You feel. How do you feel about what you see? So if you create an image of yourself, wealthy, successful, great mother, great husband, great wife, this is how you look. Wow, I would dress like this. Man, I would do this, I would do that. You start to see images of yourself. You visualize. And what happens? You feel good about it, right? And then when a financial challenge happens, do you focus on the lack or do you focus on who you are? You focus on who you are because that's who you want to be. And you don't just want to be it, you become it. Thus, you start to create your own reality. Now is the only reality, all right? The sense of sight is generally considered the most important sense of our perception. Seeing. You see those two eyeballs right there? And then the information, it processes into your brain from what you see. That's why symbols mean so much to people. But a symbol might mean this to this person, and a symbol could mean that to that person. It's all about you, right? If somebody says, wow, Mr. Glenn, you wear a wedding ring. Some guys, man, that don't mean nothing to me. A woman, that ring don't mean nothing to me. It ain't about what it mean to you. What does it mean to me? Right? Because when you see things that you always become conscious, you become aware of it. And because we see, it can help control you better. Right? And sometimes we need to control, but I'm the one that did the controlling because I put the ring on. You see what I'm saying? So you consciously start doing things that's going to better you for whatever you want to do, right? That's how powerful that sight is. Now, we were talking about seeing with these eyes when the lights was off. If me and you are in the room right now, we cut the lights off, I can't see, but am I there? Yes, I'm there. You just can't see me. because you're so focused on using these two eyes. But you have visions in the dark. While you're sleeping, you dream, you see all types of things. So you can see in the dark, you're just seeing with a higher spiritual perception, right? You're seeing at a higher degree. So the pineal gland is what some call the third eye. The pineal gland was commonly called the third eye for many reasons, including its location deep in the center of the brain and its connection to light via circadian rhythm and melatonin secretion. Many spiritual schools teach it serves as a connection between the physical and spiritual worlds. Let's take away the big words, right? You're able to see without these two eyes, right? You're able to see things before other people can see them. It's called vision, okay? You know, you tap into it. It's just like your mama, when you brought the girl home or you brought the boy home or whatever. I see something that don't bring her back here. It's something I see. Nah, she ain't talking about these two eyes. She sees something deeper. You see, that sight is inside of the brain. Okay, that sight is internal. And you see ancient cultures and stuff. Now these are hieroglyphics right there. You see that eye, but you see these different images around it. That was the first form of writing, pictorial, pictures. The picture meant something, right? That picture was worth more than 1,000 words. So in order for us to manifest and create, we got to see and hear first, right? We got to see and hear first. We got to use higher senses. We got to see with that other eye, the third eye. Once you really start manifesting and moving stuff. So remember the past, plan for the future, but live for today. Because yesterday is gone and tomorrow may never come. Right? Such a beautiful song and saying. Remember the past, plan for the future, but live for today because yesterday is gone and tomorrow may never come. What does that mean? The only reality is now. That's your reality. That's your reality. So life, now that you look at it like that, is such a gift, right? It's such a gift to be here right now in this day and time. To be able to shift and create your reality, life is a blessing. To be human is a blessing. To have a mind, a sound mind, is a blessing, right? So utilize that. Be a true entrepreneur. Don't just, I started a business and you playing games. No, take your life and create your reality right now. It's all right now. The future is right now, right? That's what you're doing. You can jump time. You can go from possibility. If I say, because when you don't have clear vision, the first thing you say, well, I guess it's possible to make $1 million. I guess it's possible I could have my own business and I had to work for somebody. I guess it's possible that I could be in a good relationship and meet the right person. Yeah, it's possible. But once you start to get an image, what happens? You move from possible to probable. Well, yeah, because I see myself. And if I stick with that, it's most likely going to happen, right? And then once you really create that image and you stick to it, it becomes actual. It actualizes. It becomes a reality. So it's actuality and you're jumping time. That's what you're doing. You got the ability to jump time. But because you create your own reality. And we do it by the decisions that we make. You're always creating. You're never not creating anything. Right? We're always creating. We're never not creating anything. Vibration, energy. Energy is divided in potential and kinetic energy. Right? Kinetic means we moving. You got to be moving. Right? Stop fooling with just potential. Everybody got energy. We lose time when we just dealing with potential. People that are just potential. Oh, he might do something. She might do something. That is over. We're conscious living now, right? This is conscious. We're consciously creating our reality. right? Because everything is moving. Everything. And if you ain't moving, you dead. Everything got to move. So to create your reality, you got to visualize, see what you want to be, right? So you can know you can do what you want to do and have what you want to have. So this is how we create right now. So this ain't nothing that you got to plan on. You make the decision now, right? You create an image in your head and you'll start to transform, right? A thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. Change of appearance. So you got to see yourself different. The metamorphosis got to occur, right? You got to change from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Your appearance has to change. You want a lifestyle change? Change the way you look and you create that image. It ain't based off of me or her, what they think. What do you think for yourself, right? You got to invest now. Invest ain't just money. Invest is your time. You're on here right now, you're investing your time. You're gaining something. What I'm talking is going to put money in your pocket. So that's an asset. Liabilities is taking money out your pocket, right? Period. If you talking to somebody and they say they talking about finances and they ain't gonna put none of your money in your pocket, they can have that. That's a liability, right? And you are liable for your liabilities, right? Because they're based off of your decisions. Okay, so we're talking about consciously creating right now in your life. That's the power that you have. You got the ability to create your life right here and right now. That's how powerful you are. The only reality is right now. If the life expectancy in the United States is 77 years, according to that, you definitely ain't got time to play no games, right? And if you do watch the news and you hear what people say, why are you playing? Right? Why are we acting like we just got time to waste? Right? Life is an opportunity. Take advantage of it. That's what entrepreneurs. We take advantage of opportunities. Right? So that's a way for you to look at how to create your life right now through images and through pictures and through visualization. Utilize your higher mental faculties. Right? Utilize perception, will. Utilize the experience that you had to create the life that you want, not to just dwell in these dead circumstances. I hope you got something out of that. Hope people learn how your mind it automatically remembers things, right? Because your brain is a hologramic computer. And you're that powerful. So you don't forget. Everything I'm saying, this ain't nothing new. We knew this information. It's people that just hid it from us. Any comments? Any messages, questions, anything?
Man, I'm just gonna say I thank you for everything that you do, man. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people might overlook, what you try to teach people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just grateful to be a part of, your teaching. You know what I'm saying? Helping guide me through life and becoming a better man than I am now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, and that's just why we're here, we just here to express ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So I definitely appreciate that comment and that you receive it. That's the beauty. It's like when people receive it, because you're not just potential. Nobody on here is just potential. You're really moving with it. So yeah, I appreciate that, Darrell.
Yes, sir, my brother.
My brother.
I just want to say something real quick. I want to first of all thank you for your time. You really got my brain to moving tonight, and that was amazing. So I really want to thank you for that. Also, I had my mom listening in on the background, and she said she had something for you, so she wanted me to play this for you. I can't even hold on 1 second, y'all.
All right.
Let me see.
I don't know.
Let me take it off.
I don't know if you ever heard that Young Blue.
What's up?
Never going back.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah.
That was she wanted.
She on one, Mr. Glenn.
Yeah. Mama, hey, look, Mama got that energy. I love that. Yeah,
He said you got that energy.
I love that. For real. That's my song too. I love that song. Yeah, them days gone.
Okay. Them days gone.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah,
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I think for tonight, I think you confirmed for a lot of people, because you know some people say I'm more of a visual learner, and that makes some people think that they're not visual learners, but we're all visual learners, you know. Because some people might think, well, I'm not a visual learner, I'm a hands-on person, but everyone is a visual learner because that's how the brain is designed to be visual in the first beginning. So, excuse me. What I think what society and people have done in the past is make people think that they're not visual learners, kind of trying to brainwash the mind to think that they can't learn visually, but you are naturally visual learners.
That's right. That's right. No, that's and it's a reason that they do that. So yeah, that's
right. It is.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. Sabrina, you were saying something?
What I was reading is also saying like it's different. Okay, so we're different beings. Like all of us are not made up from the same genetics, and so some beings. So a lot of the beings that they did most of the experiments on to come up with these studies, they wasn't melanated beings, and so some other beings, they from what I was reading, I'm not saying I know this for a fact because I'm not a scientist, but they were saying like some other people, like even when you talk like studying, you know, kinetic energy and stuff like that, like some certain other they learn faster because there's a pattern sequence to how we learn. And so some people is visual, audio, feeling. Some people feeling, visual, audio. Some people audio, you know, so it's like it's a different sequence on how we learn. But most melanated people have to be able to see things first, because when you were saying the third eye, I was saying I like to look at it now as the first eye, because you can be deceived with these eyes, but you can't be deceived with this eye.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, so I don't know. I just felt like, you know, what Cam was saying was very powerful. Is like, because like they did trick us, but the studies do work for them, for different beings, because they're not genetically made up the way that we're made up. And so therefore, that's why the studies don't work for us. It takes our power away from us.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Powerful. True. Great info. Yeah. Well, guys, I appreciate you. We ain't gonna keep you long, and hope everybody gains something. And let's keep it going. You know, let's keep it. Let's spread the information. Let's grow. Most of all, let's hit our goals. Everybody should have goals. Let's kill our goals. Let's manifest what we want. You know, if you want millions, if you want better relationship, if you just want to help your company grow, if you just want a better job, manifest it. You got that power. So that's the message. I love y'all, and I will see you next week.